The kitchen smelled like burnt coffee and judgment. Mom stood by the counter, arms crossed like a bouncer guarding her kingdom, glaring at me as if opening my laptop at her dining table was a personal attack. "Some of us have real jobs, Marcus," she muttered, not just clicking around on computers all day. I didn't bother looking up, just kept reviewing the final acquisition papers my lawyer had emailed over. Henderson Community Bank, the regional bank Dad had worked at for 30 years, the one with their mortgage, their car loans, their credit cards. In about 5 minutes, it would belong to me. Well, technically to my firm, but close enough. "I'm home," I said casually, scrolling through the last page. Dad walked in wearing his usual bank manager uniform, navy suit, exhausted eyes, like a man who'd mistaken middle management for a mountaintop. "Marcus," he said flatly, no greeting, just accusation, "your mother says you're still here, don't you have work?" "Working remotely," I replied, "finishing a deal." He scoffed as he poured himself coffee. "Right, another one of your investment schemes, like that cryptocurrency nonsense you blew money on." I'd made $340,000 on that nonsense, but I gave up correcting them years ago. To them, my MBA from Wharton was that expensive mistake, and my venture capital firm was glorified gambling. "Something like that," I said. Derek walked in then, golden boy in scrubs, fresh from saving lives, the approved child, the one who made sense. "Marcus," he actually smiled, "didn't know you were in town. How's the city?" "Can't complain." Mom lit up instantly. "Derek, honey, I saved you some roast from yesterday, let me heat it up." The same roast she swore was already gone when I arrived earlier. Dad cleared his throat. "We were actually hoping to talk to you about something." Ah, there it was. "We're planning ahead for retirement," he said, "and since you're doing okay." "Barely," Mom added. "You're still renting, aren't you, at your age?" I owned a $2.3 million penthouse in Boston. "Yes, renting," I said. Dad pressed on. "We were thinking you could help us out. Nothing major, maybe $2,000 a month. We help put you through school." "With loans I paid back," I reminded him. "And family helps family," he said, the same tone he probably used to deny loan applications. "Firm, final." My phone buzzed. "Henderson acquisition cleared. Congratulations, you now own a bank." A slow smile crept onto my face. Mom narrowed her eyes. "What's so funny?" "Just good timing." I looked at Dad. "You said you're thinking about retiring from Henderson soon?" "In a couple of years," he said. "They treat me well there. Pension, stability, not like your volatile world." I clicked sign. "That's funny," I said, "because Henderson Community Bank changed ownership about," I glanced at my watch, 30 seconds ago. Dad blinked. "What?" I turned the screen toward them, displaying the press release. Summit Ventures acquires Henderson Community Bank for $47 million. I pointed to the contact line at the bottom. "Managing partner, Marcus Henderson." The silence hit harder than any shouting match. Derek was the first to recover. "Hold on, you bought Dad's bank?" "My firm did," I said, 87% controlling interest. The rest stays with legacy shareholders. We've been negotiating for 8 months. Dad's face had lost all color. "You bought Henderson?" "Technically, yes." I clicked to the next tab. "And buying a bank comes with certain privileges, like access to internal data." I turned the screen toward them. $340,000 in savings. $180,000 in CDs and money markets. House, fully paid. 0 outstanding debt. Retirement accounts, maxed. I met Dad's eyes. "You're not struggling. You've never been struggling." Mom clutched her chest. "You can't just go through our accounts." "I can," I said calmly, "when I own them, and especially when I notice suspicious patterns." Another click. More records. 50 grand to Derek last year, 30 to cousin Jennifer, 25 to Aunt Patricia, quite the family charity fund. I turned to Derek. "How much of that practice startup money did you really need?" He shifted uncomfortably. I was planning ahead, eventually." "You work at a hospital, you don't have a private practice." I shut the laptop. "So when you asked me for $2,000 a month, you didn't need help, you just wanted me to cover your generosity to everyone else, everyone except me." "That's not fair," Dad snapped. We've always treated you differently. Yes, I said, very differently. I stood. Every holiday, every visit, it's the same script. Derek the doctor, Derek the pride of the family, and me, Marcus the disappointment, Marcus the reckless one, Marcus who should get a real job. We never said that, Mom protested. You said it every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every birthday, mine and his. I kept my voice calm. My reckless ventures have made me $3 million in the last 3 years. My firm manages $340 million in assets. I employ 23 people, but since you don't understand what I do, it's not real success. Dad crossed his arms. If you're so successful, why are you still renting? I looked him dead in the eye. Because the condo I rent is one of 3 properties I own through my LLC. It's a tax shelter, but to know that, you'd have to ask. Derek raised his hands. Okay, everyone needs to take a breath. I am breathing. In fact, I've never been clearer. I closed my laptop. As majority owner of Henderson, I'll be restructuring operations, updating tech, evaluating management. Dad's face flushed red. You can't fire me. I've been there 30 years. You don't have tenure, you have history, and your performance records show stagnation. Denied loans based on gut feelings, refused digital systems, missed targets. I walked toward the door. I won't fire you, but the new branch director might have questions, especially when they see you approved yourself a $180,000 home equity loan at 2.1%. That's well below policy. Might look like internal favoritism. Mom let out a strangled gasp. That loan was for renovations. I know. I saw the receipts. Imported marble, heated floors, very tasteful. I looked at Derek. Meanwhile, when I applied for a startup loan 6 years ago, Dad told the lending officer I was unstable and high risk. Derek turned sharply. You said that? Dad straightened. I was trying to protect him from failing. No, I said, you were trying to keep me small, in a box you understood. Hand on the doorknob. Well, I'm out of that box, and now, ironically, I'm the one holding the keys to yours. Dad's voice broke. What do you want from us? Money, is that it? Fine, we'll pay you. I turned back slightly, lifting my phone and opening my bank app. I don't need your money, I said flatly, I just want the truth acknowledged. The balance glowed on my phone screen. $4, 7 million. Personal account, different bank. Mom's knees nearly buckled. I don't want your money, I said quietly, I just want you to stop treating me like a failure. Stop acting like my success doesn't count because you don't understand it. Stop praising Derek for following your script while using me as the cautionary tale. I glanced at Derek. No offense. None taken, he said softly. They do that. And stop pretending you're broke just so I'll bankroll your generosity to everyone else. If you want to play savior for the family, own it, don't drag me into it with guilt. Dad stood, his tone shifting into manager mode. Now you listen. No, I said, you listen. My voice was level, firm. Starting Monday, Henderson Community Bank operates under new ownership, new policies, new compliance. That little 2.1% home equity loan you gave yourself, it gets refinanced at market rate or paid off within 90 days. Your performance gets reviewed by metrics, not by tenure and seniority. I paused. I'm not here to ruin you, Dad. I'm here to run a bank responsibly, but I need you to understand something. I'm not the disappointment you tried to protect from failure. I succeeded because you doubted me, not because you guided me. 2 weeks later. My new office overlooked the river from the 20th floor of Henderson's headquarters. The board had named me interim chairman while we searched for a permanent CEO. The phone rang. Derek. Hey, he said, just wanted to say. I'm sorry, for not speaking up more, for letting them treat you like that. I know. He hesitated. Dad's been stuck in compliance retraining all week. Mom's barely talking. They're shaken. And you? Honestly, relieved. They've been pressuring me to ask you for more money, house down payment. This time, he exhaled. I kept saying no, but, you know how they get. Oh, I know. Silence. That 50 grand they gave me, I only asked for 20. They insisted on 50. Mom wrote, for our golden boy, in the memo line. I already knew. I'd seen the transfer notes. I'm sorry, Marcus, Derek said. You deserved better. Yeah, I said. I did. Another pause. Are you really restructuring Dad's loan? Already done. Market rate 6.8%. He's paying 6.8% now, and he's being evaluated like every other employee. He's furious. He'll live. He's got $340,000 in savings to soften the blow. I leaned back, looking out at the city. You know what's ironic? If they'd just been honest instead of manipulative, I would have helped them, not with handouts, actual financial advising. That's literally what I do for a living. Derek lowered his voice. Mom cried for 2 days when she realized how wrong she'd been, not because of your net worth, because she realized she never really knew you. That's not my burden to fix. I know. More silence. Then, they want you to come to family dinner next Sunday. No comments about your job, no lectures, just dinner, she swore. I let that sit. Years of dismissal, condescension, backhanded pity. And now, finally, respect, even if it came late. Maybe, I said, tell her I'll think about it. Fair. Derek hesitated. For what it's worth. I was always proud of you, I just didn't know how to show it without making everything worse. You chose the easy side. Yeah, he said quietly, I did, I'm sorry. After we hung up, I rested my hand on the Henderson logo etched in glass beside my desk. My bank. The same bank that once refused my loan. My assistant knocked. Mr. Henderson, compliance is here with your monthly report. Send them in. Maybe my parents would change, maybe not, maybe Derek and I would rebuild something real. But one thing was certain. I would never again be the family disappointment. I made sure of that. Respect had a price. But standing here, overseeing my company, my success, my legacy, it was worth every penny.